So today we're doing a video about thrift store finds.
Very fun topic.
Yeah, because
we love just rummaging around in random thrift store bins and finding hidden jewels amongst garbage, like this glass dip pen.
I know. I was going to order a glass dip pen online, but I was at the thrift store a week or so ago, and there was a bag with some pencils, and this was in the bag.
Yeah.
And it's a glass dip pen, and actually I got it for a couple dollars, all and like the whole bag.
Honestly, really good.
I was going to order one of these online, but anyway, I found one.
I've been interested in doing a video on dip pens. Yeah. I haven't mentioned it.
And they are pretty nice. Really.
We have some
ink.
Lamy
and
ink
the reason I was going to get this was because when I'm doing ink swatches and stuff, it's kind of nice to have
something you can just dip in.
Yeah, because sometimes I don't have all my inks in a pen. Just dip it in. Yeah, and then, don't get it in.
So it covers the tip, and it has these little grooves so it can hold the ink while you write, so that you don't have to dip it like a bajillion times.
Yeah.
And it creates these nice lines. It's a very nice thing, and it actually will take quite a bit before this runs out, so you don't need to dip it too much. And since it's glass, it has a smooth surface.
Yeah.
So you don't actually need to clean it off too well.
Yeah, so if I'm doing ink swatches,
it'll typically slide off with a bit of water.
Yeah, so when I'm doing an ink swatch or something, I can now, rather than having to fill a fountain pen with...
Also, it sounds really nice. I like hearing that, like, song.
And I might do some drawing with this, figure out...
It's a very nice pen.
Gives you a nice line. And so I might do some drawing with this. So that was kind of one of my nicest finds in a very long time. And here comes the cat.
Something that is always good to get.
So it's good to have a dip pen.
It'll be useful.
The other thing I found was this box. And what I liked about this box, what stood out about this box is it's very well made. If you look, it has dovetail joins, right?
Dovetails are very nice.
And the
Scout, don't touch that.
Wreck things.
Oh,
and also, it seems to be made out of oak. And what it
has some very nice engravings on the top.
It has a little latch right here, so it locks in place. And it's a cigarette box. But I'm not going to open it up. It's in a little rough shape inside. I'm just going to put a liner there. But it's actually fairly solid, made of oak. And somebody did some, carving on it, relatively amateur. Well, a folk art carving on it. And did a little bit of work here. Probably a hobbyist was doing it.
Pretty nice.
And so anyway, always using boxes. This was a really nice find. It's well made. I can tell that it was carved because you can see where they dug into this front piece right here particularly. So somebody did that as a hobby.
Yeah.
They were just practicing and they were decorating a box.
Honestly, they did a good job.
This is an older box and
it's pretty good.
Solidly made. And it's particularly well made with the joins, right?
Nice dovetail.
And it's rounded, nice dovetailing. I'll use this for something.
All sorts of things.
I could put nibs or some extra pens in it or something, and make use of that. So that's really another nice find. And then my latest artwork. Every now and then I go through and I look around for artwork, and sometimes it's surprising what you find. I found this in a really bad frame, and the image, I've seen that building somewhere before, maybe in a movie, maybe a photograph or something. And down here there's a signature Davis Gray. Now I looked online, and Davis Gray was the brush name for an artist named E.B. Walden, and this person did a lot of paintings on American university campuses. And he would do watercolors, and he would go around to different universities. I guess he would sell them to students or alumni or people that, professors.
It's very nice.
And he made a lot of prints, but this is actually a watercolor. This is an original. You can see up here where the artist had stapled the paper onto a board. So he was painting in, maybe on site. So there's little staples right there, and it's on watercolor paper. And I'm not too sure what university or what that building is, that church, but it looks awfully familiar to me, and I can't really place it. I'm going to have to do an image search. But yeah, so Davis Gray. So I found that at the...
It's always interesting to get an original piece.
Yeah, and Davis Gray was an American, I believe. He worked in the States, and if you go online, there's all kinds of these paintings on there. They're not overly expensive, but actually, considering that I only paid a couple dollars for it, I came out ahead.
I just want to say,
it wasn't well framed. You can see the original. It was just taped into a frame, but that's not going to cause any major problems right there.
I am just going to say,
Otherwise,
I am so confused.
Why?
How a random painting from this dude in the States made it to a random tiny island in the middle of nowhere.
Well, okay, he painted a lot of university scenes, right? But you're forgetting that an awful lot of Canadians, especially from Prince Edward Island, went to what we used to call the Boston States. Right?
No clue what that is.
Well,
I'm bad at geography.
PEI, at one point in PEI's history, rather than islanders going to, say, Toronto or out to Alberta or places like that, they went south to the States. A lot of Americans, you have a lot of family members who are in what we call the Boston States, Massachusetts, Boston. So there, a lot of islanders relocated there for work, and they had families there, and they became American citizens. You know, your grandmother has sisters in the States, right? So probably what this is somebody went to university at this place, bought the Davis Gray, came back to Prince Edward Island, and when they passed away, the painting just ended up in a thrift shop, right? So it's kind of cute. I don't know who had it originally, but so I'm guessing that's what happened.
Interesting history.
Also, it could have been somebody who taught at this university who, after retiring, came home, and then for whatever reason, the painting ended up just being given away as a thrift item.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. You do see, so if you go around to thrift stores, quite often, if you're looking carefully, you'll find artwork, original artwork, and it's, a little bit of experience and knowledge of what you're looking at. You can find some nice little treasures.
Yeah.
So I think I'm pretty happy with this little haul. This box particularly is very nice, but also because I was actually thinking of getting one of these, I'm particularly happy with getting a gift pen.
Be nice.
And what
the prized take.
My newest thing I'm looking for at the thrift stores, I've been keeping an eye out lately for them, is a Rolodex.
No clue what that is.
A Rolodex is index cards on a rolling drum kind of thing.
Oh, those
for
things.
Addresses, right? And you know why I'm looking for one?
What?
Well, one of my viewers had commented that he uses a Rolodex for keeping track of all his ink colors. And I think that's a brilliant idea.
That's a really good idea.
So I'm looking for a Rolodex. If I can't find one, I can just buy one. They're not very expensive. But it'd be kind of neat to find a vintage one and use it. And then I'll use my... So what I'll do is I'll set up all my ink samples. I'll do swatches, and I'll use my dip pen to write down the name of the color.
Yes.
And so on and so on.
That's really nice.
Yeah, so my next thing I'm looking for is a Rolodex. Maybe I'll find one. Maybe I won't.
So expect to see this in more videos.
Being used with new inks and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as we don't break it. But it's quite nice, eh?
All you'd have to do to break it is just like...
Well, we're not going to do that. Don't do that.
Do that.
Don't snap it.
Just kind of...
Yeah.
And it's gone.
I know. But anyway, nice little
fun. Or push too hard on the page.
It's actually quite well made.
Yes, but...
But anyway.
It's glass.
I know, it's glass. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. What's your greatest thrift store find? Fountain pen related, or art related, or interesting boxes, or just something that surprised you that you found in a thrift store. I'd like to hear about it. Did you ever find a really nice fountain pen in a thrift store? I have yet to really... I've known people that found nice fountain pens, but I've never found one yet. I always keep my eye out for them, but Yeah. So anyway, let us know in the comments below, and nice hearing from you. And I hope you
Yeah.
all have a nice day. Thanks
Have
a
a
lot.
great day, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.